Hello, gamers. Good afternoon, gamers. Welcome back to the FTB stream. This is the Never Pro Gamer, and this is our third installment in the series. And I've been thinking a lot about the stream itself and what I really want out of it versus like what can be done. And I think since this is a new channel, it's a little difficult to get started, but I think a good direction to move would be first establishing when the stream will happen. In case it weren't kind of obvious, I am a student still in college in my final year starting tomorrow, and it kind of hit me that my schedule is going to make it difficult to keep this going, at least at the pace that we've been going. So it might also be healthy for the channel to try and establish an actual gaming schedule. That way people aren't like, oh, like I'm busy right now, why are you streaming randomly? This will just help down the line. So I updated the stream description to indicate that we're going to try to do this at 6 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. or no, that's backwards. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And this may be like kind of difficult timing for Eastern, and I'll try to like be kind of loose with that on demand when I am able to get a viewer base. But at the moment, I think that's a good place to start. I'm going to be busy for the most part with classes and stuff, so it may benefit me to follow that schedule, at least to start, and then later on we can consider revising that schedule to meet demands of viewers. But hey, anyway, now that we've got that behind us, yeah, so most weekdays I will be on here 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific. If you're in Europe, I'm not European, so I'm not familiar with the time zones, what they're called, whatnot, but it ain't super hard to calculate. This information's online, so yeah, enough about time zones. Let's play some game. Alright, so moving forward, I think where we stopped last time, we were getting started making a generator, and then I kind of abruptly stopped the stream. But we're going to try to pick up right where we left off with getting started with machinery. And as always, I'm going to try to not go to snail's pace, but an approachable pace with a lot of the crafting. And eventually, once I think everybody knows what a copper cable is by the third or fourth time, I'll try to start racing through some of the slower paced crafts. This land I'm just kind of slowly hashing out. I think this will be where our main house or maybe even an animal farm will end up in the end. But as you can see, in the last stream I mentioned that they replenish, but kind of not unpredictably, but it's kind of hard to follow the timing of them, so yeah. Let's see, the sheep are going nuts. Alright, so we have a little more sticky resin. I think we'll go ahead and smelt all of it. Well, we have 8. As I recall, we have very little redstone and no diamonds, so we'll probably need to go back underground at some point. Yeah, 2 redstone, that's not really gonna cut it. We can make one circuit out of that, so. Alright, but let's see what we can do. So, I think first we should get a macerator. What does a macerator do, you might ask? Well, a macerator, as you're going to see, it takes 1 electronic circuit. That's why I think it would be best. 3 flint, 2 cobble, basic machine casing, and electronic circuit. So basic machine casing is essentially the furnace craft, but with refined iron. If you don't recall, refined iron is from smelting regular iron. So let me see on the stream real quick if anybody's watching. Not really. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and take the iron we're gonna need. We're gonna need 9 iron, which I know I'm kind of jumping straight into this, but you may recall that an electronic circuit also takes a refined iron, so we're gonna knock all that out at once. We've got 1 flint at the moment, so we're gonna need to break some more gravel. Whatever. There's one. One more. Watch after we're done with this. There we go. Okay. So we've got our 3 gravel. Our iron is still cooking. We will need 1 more on this side, so I'll go ahead and throw it in with... Do we have any sticks? Nope. Alright, let's take a look here. I'm just gonna throw an extra one in just in case. I think we'll be okay. Nope. Okay. There we go. 1 little extra smelt. That's fine. So we've got our 8. There's our basic machine casing. And let's abuse the project table. So we're gonna go a little more copper wire, I think. Yeah, we will. Each circuit takes 6 cables, and each battery takes 1. So that's where you're gonna see that battery. It really does it to us. 5, 6. Alright, so we have our 6 here. We need our last 2 little redstone. But you'll see this is going to be extremely worth it. There's our last little refined iron. Electronic circuit. So, just to reflect, we need our 2 cobblestone, and of all the things to not have in our inventory space. Okay, so there's the 2 cobble, 1 here, this here, and then our flint. There we go, macerator. So, the macerator, I didn't even explain what it really was. Well, I'm pretty sure it should power. Yeah, normally you'd have to attach a cable, but more on that later. We, essentially a macerator is one of the first stage of processing new ore. And essentially what it does is it doubles our yield based on what we put in there. Typically it's just about a double. So you'll see this is it's kind of a slower process, but we can upgrade it. But if we put in, let's just find iron because that's kind of easy. Or how about copper? So copper's the same as most normal ores. If you put a copper ore in here, it converts into a couple of dust. Sorry about that. Quick little phone call. So, as I was saying, the macerator converts an ore into 2 dust per ore, and then after that, which it's about to be nighttime, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to sleep, save the village if we can. Don't want to lose these guys too quickly. So yeah, it's converting this dust, and then when you smelt the dust, it essentially acts just like a vanilla ore. So you'd get an ingot. See? So the macerator essentially, I think, is the most helpful early game machine, and you want to kind of have it going pretty much before every other machine, because there's little machines for these like minor optimizations, but the macerator specifically is pretty nifty for conserving your ore consumption, or reducing ore consumption. And cool little feed the beast things, when you're looking at a block that's a machine, you can see up at the top here of the interface the progress on a smelt. So if you don't want to look into it and be hitting escape all the time, you can escape out of that. If you shift and look at it, you can also see what's in it. So 27 ore and 4 iron. Pretty cool. Throw a fresh one in there. And yeah, at the moment, this is eating up some coal in our generator, but all worth it. Not sure if, like, I'm infringing on any, like, laws by listening to music right now, but I'm not really monetizing it, so at the moment, I don't think it's a problem. And it's not like I've made any revenue from my, 3 views. So, I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, big fan of music, most varieties. Most recently I've listened to some country, and you know, it's alright. I think new age country is kind of its own fad, which I don't know. The past few months I was living with some people who love country music. Kind of, you know, you either learn to love it or accept it, or leave. So yeah, it was good. I've learned a couple of songs, but I just can't get over how some of the subject matter in like new age country is very, I don't know, random. Like what's the song "Cold Beer Never Broke My Heart"? That's a funny one. Yeah, but no, my niche. I love classic rocks. It's kind of like, it's kind of easy listening, and then classical's good, and maybe kind of like some pop or some alternative rock and some electronic stuff. I really like it all. So, and you can see with our interface at the top, the generator is out of power. So now you'll see it start to drain here. Which we don't need to use all our coal at the moment. But you know what, who cares? And it goes. I think it might be helpful to construct a bat box. Now, a bat box is essentially a place where the generator can be putting the energy instead of being sent straight to the machine. What that really does is it just gives us a bigger storage than 4,000 electronic units at a time. So maybe it'd be nice to have down the line. I'm not super concerned just yet, but hey, gotta love this content. This great iron smelting. Might be nice to start macerating our copper too, but I'm gonna try not to bore everybody too much yet. So maybe we'll hold off on that till we need it, or I'll leave some. We should really consider making a little like egg farm around here with maybe a chicken coop, and just been trying to think of a way to do that without making an eyesore. Oh, schnookies. Yeah, and a great thing is the machine knows to turn off when there's nothing in here, so it's not consuming too much energy. Then just to explore some of the other machines like this may be good content. So you've got your macerator, which grinds down ores, and then electric furnace. That's a classic one. That's a pretty obvious what it does, you know. It's like a regular furnace, but you're not using coal anymore, so that's cool. Some other cool ones, you've got the compressor's kind of confusing, so the extractor. The extractor is pretty easy to understand, not a super complicated craft, but the extractor basically consumes the sticky resin which we've been getting from these trees. And instead of smelting it and getting a single piece of rubber, we get a couple. I think it's 3 per resin. So wow, these are growing pretty quickly. There we go, that's good. Alright, so can't quite reach it. Alright, so what to do now? We've got all of our hemp grown, so it might be a good time to switch off that. Wait a minute. Do I still have a canvas bag? Oh, here it is. Gosh, I'm so unintelligent. Oh yeah, we got all these things. That's so cool. Yeah, I'm the pro forgetting that I have these things. But I only remember when I'm not home. So I get out there and I'm like, oh, I have all these nice things that are eating up space. So maybe we'll try to do that. Let's see here. So there's not a whole lot you can actually do with the industrial hemp fiber, so it might just be best to turn it all into string immediately. And look at that. That's 2 more canvas bags right there. And you can dye them so that they're not extremely confusing. I'm just gonna throw most of this stuff up here, so that way it is out of the way. Make sure I got it all. I think it's everything but the chest. Alright, so go ahead and take all of our iron out. Cool. We're looking good on the iron, so I think it would be helpful. I've never actually looked at the numbers here and seen how much this does, so I'm gonna put in, we've got 8 in there right now. I'm just gonna put in 16 and see how much it could do by full charge. And I don't think this will be like a great representation because it still had some here, so maybe we'll round down by a couple. So 16 in there total. See how much one coal can do for us. That's one of my favorite things about Minecraft. It's just kind of looking at the ratios and stuff. And I think this might be a shorter stream, just because I've got a little bit more stuff to do today. But I'm gonna try to get us looking pretty, sitting pretty. I don't know, both. We'll sit and look. But we've got some sticky resin. I think we're doing okay. I definitely want to put that chicken coop kind of far away, because anybody who's ever played this knows that they can get pretty loud. So let's see if that Mace Raider's done. We haven't really gone far, so it's close. It looks like we're gonna get 6 for a coal, because I think this is about where it was at. Okay. What the heck? Want to keep that going. One cool thing about the next tier up, like there's power tier 1 extractor and power tier 2 centrifuge extractor. These things basically run at another level of power, so but there are certain capabilities that it has better than the minor one. Typically what they do is the longer it's running, the faster this rate becomes, and when it turns off it loses that rate. And it yeah, it can eat up power pretty quickly, so it's definitely something not to rush. Definitely better to hold off on that. Alright, but I think we're doing pretty well right now. I'm just gonna put this up here. This iron's gonna go back. Okay. Put up these rubber trees. We finally have a good amount of rubber, so I'm pretty happy about that. We could make a forest pretty easily, and I think there are ways that I'm unaware of where you can actually move around your trees, but I'm not super familiar. I think there was a machine I saw one person using this mod pack a long time ago. How are these villagers doing? We haven't seen them this episode. Are they alive? They look like they're just chilling. My man. This one guy still can't get out the water. Yeah, I'll help him. Let's see. Oh, he's alive. Wow, he's so happy. Oh, it's one of these guys. Maybe we should have left him in the water. Right. Oh, here we go. Now it's me. Now they need to save me. Oh, I'm just gonna replant these carrots. That dude stole my carrots. This guy. So yeah, on the topic of setting up the schedule, as we mentioned before, I do also think it would be helpful to an audience if I reach out for like game ideas. I'm not limited to Feed the Beast. I just felt that this was a good place to start a channel to kind of essentially bring more awareness to this, because a lot of people don't really play mod packs, or at least stream them, and they've always kind of been something that I think is fun. I don't know how other people feel, but when I've played like vanilla Minecraft in the past, it always feels like I hit this wall, and the only way out is to either stop playing Minecraft for a while or to create a new world and just start from scratch. But in the end, that's really kind of just working backwards. I feel like it's a great way to like get stuck in a loop with your gaming and Minecraft in general, I guess. If you're constantly if you're constantly making new worlds, you're never really getting anywhere and like never doing like massive builds and any crazy stuff. So Feed the Beast has always been something where it's like there's so much content. Like all of these pages, all 117 pages, there's so much content. You never really need to restart. So that's just how I feel about it. And yeah, I guess I'm kind of on a tangent at the moment. Back on subject, my thought process with Feed the Beast is mostly that the coverage is just low, and that I just thought this would be like a good starting point. I could kind of create like a viewer base. Maybe once I get like 10 dedicated watchers and subscribers or whatever, like maybe I'll start catering like more to like needs and desires of viewers, because like I'm happy to play what you guys want me to. Like frankly I love shooter games, but besides that I love anything from like Slime Rancher to like Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, Overwatch, and I've got like a small library of games, but like especially in the end, if I saw this kind of like picking up, I wouldn't mind investing in more, like based on what y'all think is interesting. So yeah, this might be a good point to stop the stream for the day, but I definitely wanted to get on today because every day I miss is kind of bad. I feel like that's working backwards because you want to draw attention to your channel if you want to get anywhere. So this is a good point to end, and yeah, y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.